Lloyd, could you just kind of give us a snapshot view of the history of the family farm in about, 8 minutes or whatever?
Okay, I'll do my best. It started at Christmas 1972.
When you became involved, huh?
When the opportunity was presented.
Okay.
So our first Christmas, being married, we came up to the farm, and while we were here, Dad put it out to all the boys. Now remember, Larry already was a professor. Dale was already in DC, and Blaine was here in Vail working, and Rex was his first Christmas after his mission.
Okay.
Don and Dave were younger. Don in high school and Dave in grade school.
Okay.
So anyhow, Dad said, the farm is too much for me. I'm either going to have to sell part of it, or get a hired man.
Okay, now this is when there were about 200 acres in the farm, right?
There was 195.
195, okay.
On the home place, and then on Grandpa's place, Dad owned 115. The other acreage that was part of that 160 was owned by Dan Jacobs at the time, and it had previously been owned by Uncle Jake.
Okay, yes.
And so the timing was perfect for me. I had just struggled through 2 of the first classes in college.
Okay.
One was computer science, which is the only one I will mention because it was truly the most difficult. I could sooner have written and spoken perfect Mandarin, Chinese, and even make heads or tails of it.
Wow.
And so it was the class that set me up to make the right decision.
Okay.
And so Sue, having come from the farm.
Okay, now you're getting out of the view window, so.
Okay. Sue, having grown up on a farm, and I, when I heard it, thought, wow, I've always wanted to farm. Only my plan was to make a fortune and come back and buy it from the folks, since they'd helped all of us with missions and with college so they could retire.
Okay.
And that was when the offer was made, and we decided yes. I told Sue, we won't be rich, but we won't go hungry. So we planned during that Christmas holiday that we would come back to the farm, and that we would come on May the 1st, 1973.
Okay.
The offer was, Dad said, if any of you want to, you can come and work for us for 3 years.
Okay.
And if you like it, and we are happy with what you're doing, then you can buy it from us, and the price would be gauged from 1973.
Okay.
Not 3 years later.
Uh-huh.
So in the offer, Mom and Dad provided us a place to live, and I think it was $450 a month.
Wow.
And we don't remember exactly, but I remember the figures pretty well. And with that, all the milk, meat, and butter
Okay.
that we needed.
Uh-huh.
And so we packed. Now, Christy, our firstborn, was born March the 20th of 73.
Okay.
And so she was born in Utah Valley, thankfully, because she was breech. And had we been up here, it would have been an automatic C-section.
Wow. Okay.
Because we were there in Utah Valley where they actually knew medicine. He was delivered naturally. And our doctor, who Gwen's roommate, who was the nurse, Ruth Kennington, referred to as a horse doctor. He had another, when the time came, he called another OB in there in the hospital, and they delivered Christy.
Okay.
We were so very thankful to have our first child there, because our first every other child of our first 8 was breech presentation.
Really?
Really. And so anyhow, we packed up. Oh, when I went back to college after the Christmas holiday, I pulled out of college, and I thought, oh, if I'm going to go back to the farm, I hate milking cows. That's my memory of it.
I know it.
And I've got to go see if I can tolerate it. So I looked all around for a milking job. And there were several small dairies in Utah Valley.
Right.
But the job that I noticed that was available was milking for BYU Dairy.
Okay.
And BYU Dairy was an 8-hour, it added up to be more than that. But I would start at midnight. I would have my lunch hour at 4 a.m. when the students came to milk their herd. And then I would finish whatever time it was, which generally was 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Now we got to wrap up this portion in 2 minutes. So, and then we'll start the second.
So anyhow, I gave him notice that I would be moving May 1. So probably the latest date that was during the week up to before May 1 was my last day there. We packed up everything we owned in the car. And that meant all of our wedding gifts that had been in boxes, we took them out of boxes, and we packed everything, because we had Sue and I and our baby, our daughter Christy, and everything we owned in the car. And I believe we paid off the car before we left. I don't remember that we owed much on it. I'm going to say not very.
So did you leave college with no debts?
Oh, yes. We left college with no debt.
Oh, that's powerful.
And we taught our kids never to borrow for education.
Okay. All right.
And,
now that's where we'll stop.
okay,